So, the 13th Doctor has been announced, and it is Jodie Whittaker. I've seen quite a big reaction to this so far, and it seems like a lot of people... There's a significant number of people who are very against the idea, simply of the Doctor being a woman. To me, that is irrelevant, and I think to more people it should be irrelevant. I think really there's a few criteria that I would look for in a new Doctor. First and foremost, they have to be a good actor. That's both in terms of being able to deliver the kind of serious performance, but also you want to be able to have someone who can handle the kind of more comedic scenes. So that's why it's always bugged me when people have suggested names like Richard Ayoade, because Richard Ayoade would probably be really quite good at the kind of quirky comedy scenes, but I would suggest that he probably doesn't have the serious acting chops to do the kind of darker parts of the character. And to me that's one of the most important factors about the Doctor, is that the character is both light and dark. So for example, Matt Smith. The comedy elements in Matt Smith's episodes are handled really well by Matt Smith. He can handle the comedy so well, and I'd probably say he's probably one of the funniest Doctors. What makes Matt Smith good is that he was also able to do the kind of serious, darker parts, and you can kind of believe that this is a kind of troubled character. I would also say you want an actor that's got a bit of quirkiness to them. If you look at all of the actors who have played the Doctor so far, they're all very quirky kind of people. They're all a little bit odd looking, or they've got a bit of a weird personality to them. So a good actor, a quirky actor, I'd probably say for the third point, something unique about them. I think every actor that's taken on the role so far has brought something different to the role. For example, so a lot of people say Ben Whishaw, or Wishaw, I don't know what his name is. The actor that played Q would be a really good Doctor, and I can see where they're coming from. He's a good actor, he's got the quirkiness, but the problem with Ben Whishaw is that he looks very like Matt Smith, and his quirkiness feels very Matt Smith-like. So you don't want an actor who's too similar to someone that's come beforehand. So when we get back to Jodie Whittaker, she's a really great actress. I must admit, I've only ever seen her in Broadchurch, but in Broadchurch she is one of the best three actors in that show. It's her performance, David Tennant's and Olivia Colman's, all three of them make the show, especially series 1 at least. Whether or not she can handle the kind of more comedy parts, I don't personally know from what I've seen her do before, but I hope that she can. Quirkiness. Personally, she's always seemed a little bit ordinary to me, but this is another case where I'm willing to just watch her first episode, because I haven't seen her in that much before. I've only seen her in one show, and in that one show the role that she has to perform is a grieving mother, so it doesn't really allow for much quirkiness. And I'm sure that she'll probably bring something interesting and weird to the kind of role. So it's another situation where I'm just going to wait and watch her first episode, because that's when you want to be able to judge her on what she brings to the actual show, not what she's done before, or what gender she is, but we'll get onto that. And number 3, does she bring something unique? At this point, simply the fact that she is a woman does bring something unique. And that's going to bring with it a different kind of energy to the show. And her as an actress, she does have a different energy to all these other people that have played the role before. As much as I've seen of her in things, she has a very different energy to David Tennant or Christopher Eccleston or Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi or any of the other Doctors that came before them. She is bringing something unique, and it's not just the fact that she's a woman. She is a different kind of actor than what we've had before, and that's quite exciting. She's a good enough actress that I'm okay, she's not who I would have picked, but I can't wait to see what she's going to do with it. And unfortunately that brings me on to the kind of whole female issue. I don't know what to say about this. I think, with the character of the Doctor, I don't understand the issue with gender. I don't understand. I don't really understand these people that are suddenly oh, I'm not going to watch the show anymore. The Doctor should only be a man, because 3 years ago we found out that Michelle Gomez was playing the Master. So we've already seen a Time Lord change from a man to a woman. And I think on the whole, like, I imagine there's probably a bit of a backlash to Michelle Gomez to begin with, but I think what Michelle Gomez has proved is that it doesn't matter what gender you are for the role. I think most people have kind of found themselves quite drawn to Michelle Gomez's interpretation of the Master, and I don't think it makes a difference what gender she is. I think the only negatives I think people would probably have of her character because of the writing, it's not because she's a woman. You know, it seems like a lot of people are okay with that. So if you're okay with the Master changing, why aren't you okay with the Doctor changing? You know, I can kind of understand people who would get annoyed about James Bond becoming a woman, because James Bond's kind of got character traits that are quite masculine character traits. Like, let's face it, he's a bit of a misogynist, and also in James Bond it's meant to be the same character, and obviously he's called James Bond, so it'd be a bit weird. You'd have to change the name. Basically, like, if you made James Bond a woman, that is quite fundamentally changing character traits. So I can understand why people would be against that. But with the Doctor, we've already had 13, I guess 14 if you're counting John Hurt. No, sorry, oh, that's wrong. We've already had 13 incarnations of the Doctor so far, and none of them are inherently masculine. Like, none of them, there's no inherent masculine traits that define the Doctor as a male. So basically the fact that he's been male the last 13 times is irrelevant. None of those incarnations of the Doctor need to be male to, you know, change any stories or change the way the character acts in certain situations. There's nothing about the Doctor and his character that mean he has to be male. There's nothing, and it seems that the only argument people have against it is that, oh, he's always been male, so why change it? Well, he's always been male, so why not change it? If he's always been male, why not give it to someone else? You know, the range of actors that have taken on this role is incredible. Like, we've had old people, we've had younger people, we've had northern people, we've had Scottish people, we've had curly-haired people, we've had, you know, 50-year-old. There's such a wide range, even within the male actors that play the role. If you've got an actual argument against it, then please let me know, because, like, I'm actually kind of curious, because there's a lot of people saying, like, I don't want to be called sexist, but I'm against this, but at the same time they're not giving a reason. Equality for both sides is, you know, Chris Chibnall's clearly auditioned many people, I imagine male and female, and different races, I imagine, and if he hasn't, that's bad. I think it needs to be a big open casting call, and then he's clearly decided that Jodie is the best person they saw. And if she's the best person they saw, it doesn't matter about the gender, it doesn't matter about the race. I think it's, you know, if that's who they think is the best choice, that's who they think was the best choice. It's like Stephen Moffat was saying about Peter Capaldi's casting, and he was saying, like, we never go out to find a man or find a white older actor. They just pick the right person at that time. And this time it's a woman. And honestly, like, it shouldn't be a big deal. On a different note, I've seen a lot of people kind of going, like, their first reaction to it being, oh my god, they made the Doctor female, it's a female, it's a female, it's a female. And it's like, I get that it's like the first ever female Doctor, so it does seem like a big thing, but no one's going, oh my god, it's Jodie Whittaker. The story is, oh my god, they've changed the gender. And either, you know, people are reacting positively to that, like, oh my god, they've changed the gender, or oh my god, they've changed the gender, I'm never going to watch again. And really, I think the story should be, oh my god, they've picked Jodie Whittaker, and she's a great actress, or maybe you don't think that she's the right role, like, right person. That should be the story. You know, like, personally, I was kind of starting to think that I'd quite like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, because I think she has more of a quirkiness to her, and I think she can handle the comedy and the darkness in the role. But it wasn't her, and it was Jodie instead, and that's interesting. Like, that's what I wish we were focusing on, because with all the other Doctors, we didn't kind of go, oh, it's a man, yes, it's a man. And we just went, oh wow, it's Peter Capaldi, the guy from The Thick of It. Like, oh, he's a really good actor. He'll probably bring something good to this. Or, oh, Matt Smith, who's that, and then we find out who Matt Smith is. And that was, in every other casting, the actor was the story, and this time the gender of the actor is the story, and I think that's a bit of a shame. Like, I'd just like to get to a point where it's not a big thing, you know, change the gender of the Doctor, who cares? And maybe after this it will be like that. But yeah, I think Jodie Whittaker's a fine choice. You know, I would personally rather have had like Phoebe Waller-Bridge or maybe someone else, but you know, Jodie Whittaker's a great actress, and I think she's going to bring something really exciting to the show, and I can't wait to see what she brings with it, and I think hopefully everyone else will feel the same. So that's been my video on my reaction to Jodie Whittaker. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more.